Assalamu alaikum. Today is 14th July 2025. Time is 15:59, and we will be trading Meta. And before we get into anything, first let's discuss the week ahead and the day ahead, because how the market is perceived is more important in determining the market behavior. The first and the most important thing that we need to look at is trade wars. Trump announced 30% tariffs on imports from EU and Mexico effective August 1st, and rest of the tariffs are still in place. That I think that after the recent tariffs, US hasn't taken any of the tariffs back. So that has sparked trade fears. That has sparked fear throughout the market. People are moving towards. This has caused a very interesting behavior. People are rotating towards AI driven stocks and cryptocurrency. Bitcoin makes a new high of 120K because Trump supports Bitcoin policies and or crypto policies. And on the other hand, AI companies are going to be less affected by the tariffs because, well, they're software companies. They're not going to be affected by the supply chain disruptions. So automobile, industrials, and consumer discretionary. Consumer discretionary means companies that make luxury items for the people, something non-essential items. So these are the companies going to be most hit. Of course, Tesla is one of them. Although Tesla invests in AI, Tesla is mainly a car company. So we expect a lot of volatility in these areas because these are going to be severely affected by the tariffs. Plus, what makes this week interesting is that we have CPI coming out this week. Tomorrow, I think PPI coming out right after that, and we have um, housing related data coming out on Friday. Interesting. That should cause volatility in the market, a lot of it, because in the SPX we have reached an area where people are now thinking about profit taking. They are debating whether the rally should continue or not. The thing is that if we see the market is going to go into consolidation, that is something everyone knows. We use the efficient market concept that market has already considered all the previous moves that has happened. Now what we want to look at is that do we see a fresh set of buyers stepping in or not. We want to see a fresh set of buyers stepping in into this new consolidation zone. The market rallied, made a new high. Okay, now the market is going to try and decide, it's going to move sideways and check if there are buyers there or not. It'll move a little bit lower. When the market moves lower, we want to see people stepping in. That shows that there still are buyers, because the market has fallen twice this year on the concern that the buyers are absent from the market. Like if we go look at SPY, the market fell twice. Once it fell, and then it fell really big. So it happened back to back. This move only happened because the people were scared that there are no more buyers in the market, but then the buyers showed themselves and the market rallied again, and the market is now making a new high. Again, people are going to want to know that are there buyers present? Because if the buyers are present, whenever the market makes a new low, you see high volume, you see new influx, you see something interesting. That is going to give the sellers confidence that okay, the buyers still are present, we can hold a bit longer, and that might rally the market. But if the buyers don't step in now, especially in such a economically congested time, a volatile time, buyers are not willing to step in whatsoever. You know, everything that can be leveraged has been leveraged. AI has been leveraged. Tariff is going to bring a big, beautiful world in America has been leveraged. The tariff story has been continuing from February. So the changes that the tariffs can make is going to be leveraged. The only future two things remain is Powell's retirement. Seeing Powell being retired and interest rates falling, and second is the big beautiful bill that Trump talks about, what is going to happen when that comes into effect. But apart from these two aspects, everything that the market can squeeze has been squeezed. Everyone is jumping on the AI wagon. Meta is jumping on the AI wagon. Oracle CEO taking, so selling 1.8 billion worth of stocks is not necessarily the best news. It might mean that is the max they expect Oracle to go, at least in recent times. Maybe they might get a cheaper price later. Elon Musk is again bringing up AI in the news because I think he wants to stay relevant. Robotaxi did not generate enough hype, so he might be switching to AI because AI always seems to bring the hype up. I think it's something that people can relate to. That's why Robotaxi is an interesting concept, but they haven't seen it in action. AI, on the other hand, they have seen it in action. They have seen how AI makes their lives better, so they might be more driven to that. So there is no company not jumping on the AI wagon, Apple included. That makes things interesting. AI has been squeezed as much as it can. NVIDIA is making record highs. NVIDIA might be a better stock to trade than Meta, maybe because it has not shown any signs of stopping. Maybe we will trade NVIDIA today. Let's see. But would it be best to trade NVIDIA in a market like this, especially when it has a long wick out? Mm, so we have three companies, as you can see on my left-hand side. I was discussing with Grok that to avoid the volatility, since the market is preferring AI-related stocks, what is the safest AI stocks that we can trade? Because we need to have some level of control in the stocks that we are trading. Although volatile periods are the best for trading, since we are not extremely adept at trading them, we are gonna aim for something slightly slower, something slightly more fundamentally strong, especially in a time like this. It's how in a storm you try to hold the tree or pillar or something grounded. That is what we are going to aim for, because this is one of the worst times to trade, when the market is looking for a buyer. If a buyer is not found, then we can confirm that okay, there are no buyers, the market is going to fall, and we trade bear. But right now, the bears don't know if the bulls are present. The bulls don't know if this is the right time to buy. So it can go either ways. This is one of those times. And if the bulls show themselves for 2-3 days in a row, if the price is being held, if the SPY is being held, the market has the potential to move further. So that is the angle that we are going to exploit. We have three options actually. Google, I don't trade because its ATR is very low. We have three options: Microsoft, Meta, and NVIDIA. These are the companies that we will be rotating this week, depending on how the news comes out. The more volatile the market becomes, the more we stick to these companies. The less volatile, the more stable moves we get. If we see any direction, like if the market remains directionless, we will stick to these three companies. But if the market gains direction, we will switch to other companies. Depending on how well things are going for us and for the market. So switching back to Meta, we have, with all that said, let me quickly scroll through everything. NVIDIA was in the news, I remember. Although it's nothing very interesting. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said the Chinese military is unlikely to use US AI chips due to risks involved addressing US government concerns behind recent export restrictions to China. Bloomberg reports. Apple got rights to rights to F1 streaming. So it's excited about that. I don't know why. Meta has hired two more OpenAI researchers. So Meta is another thing about Meta is that something Grok pointed out, which was very interesting, is that high AI spending could pressure margins if earnings disappoint. This is very important. Although it is not a concern this week, but this week's focus is on economic data, not Meta earnings. Meta does not release earnings this week, but this can be very interesting because it can show you what the investors are thinking. Since that's one of the reasons why Meta's shares are now slipping, because it's investing so aggressively in AI, and we don't see it meet expectations. Compared to how much it's spent on AI poaching what do you call researchers from different companies like OpenAI, fighting Apple. It's fighting on multiple fronts regarding AI. And if it does not, if it does not show the results, if it does not show promise, that is really going to hit Meta, and we might see profit taking in Meta. That can be very interesting to note. So we have a slightly bearish stance on Meta, given Meta is actually trading below an important technical level. 717 is a very important technical level. I'll get to that in a minute, but 717 is an important technical level for Meta, and it's trading below that. So we are actually taking a bearish stance on Meta despite its strength. So first, let's get rid of this. Let's focus on the chart here. Let's see. First, if we look at we clearly see that this was the previously marked bottom. It's where most companies, if we look at the volume done in this area, the volume done is right at 717.5. That is where the stock sees a lot of volume done. That is where the people try to buy. So if today we see selling, that means people who bought at this level expecting the company to go higher, they are dumping their shares now. So the investors who bought at these high levels don't expect the stock to go higher, or they are in a panic state. That can be very interesting. And that might be true because we are seeing Meta fail at this level in the pre-market. That can be really concerning behavior for Meta and can give us a good bearish entry. The Meta opened at 715, below 717, dropped all the way down to 714, and it has failed 700. It has failed right below 717 three times now. Cannot comment on anything on the volume because it's too less. Has it failed with volume? I would argue that it has failed. No, twice it failed with volume. Once it failed without volume. Regardless, that this shows a very interesting aspect about Meta, that Meta might be weak today. Even if it manages to go upwards, that might only give us a good, strong, short entry if the buyers are not present. If the bulls are present, if Meta shows strength today, Meta is going to show strength for the rest of the week. And that is the sentiment that we are going to use. That Meta has shown strength today at such an important level. It opened below 717. See, if Meta opened below 717, where buyers usually buy, two things can happen. First, buyers panic and start selling. Second, buyers feel motivated to buy, because they're getting a lower price than what they expected. Suppose you have $100 to spare. You spent $10 buying Meta shares. You still have $90 left, but you're waiting for Meta to come down at the right price. Meta comes down to 715. It came back to the price you wanted. You start buying. You start spending the rest of the money you have. You understand? Why? Because you're getting a good price. Now, suppose you already spent your $100 trying to buy Meta. Previously, Meta comes back down to this level. You don't have any more money to spend on Meta. There are no more buyers left who can buy Meta. If that is the situation with Meta today, Meta is going to fall. Meta is at an attractive price and we want buyers to step in. If buyers don't step in, that can be really bad for Meta. Actually, now that I say this, I realize Meta can be a very bad trade today because it's at a decisive phase. Let's go back to NVIDIA. Let's not trade Meta. Meta needs to decide what it does today. If it does well today, we will go bullish Meta for the rest of the week. If Meta does bad today, we go bearish for the rest of the week. That is going to be the plan. Let's switch to NVIDIA. NVIDIA is doing well. NVIDIA is showing strength. Although we saw a long wick, we saw 168 being rejected very strongly. NVIDIA was short down for the rest of the session. We expect a bit of consolidation move from NVIDIA today. We expect NVIDIA to remain in a suspended state. First, let's look at the 1 year price target has risen to 174, which I think is big lies. 174, it's trading right below the absolute highs. We expect NVIDIA to, stay suspended between yesterday's highs and yesterday's lows. Yesterday's low was 163.21 and yesterday's high, when I say yesterday, I mean Friday, was 167.83. So I expect both buyers and sellers to be present on NVIDIA because there was a long wick. That means there are sellers present. And there was a huge buying pressure. So there are buyers present. There are both parties present on NVIDIA. And we are going to expect... Actually, it's slightly confusing because even Meta can be a good trade. If Meta decides to break today, Meta is going to fall like anything. But it might not break today. Today, it might just show some signs of indigestion. The actual lose motion might happen tomorrow. So even that might be a good chance. Let's... Yeah, today I started late, by the way, because I had to eat. Anyway, the plan is NVIDIA has shown that 165 can be an important buy level. Okay. Alt J. 165 can be an important buy level if buyers don't step in at 165, or the sellers might pressure the price down into 164, 163 area to test it, how the stock is behaving, especially because day before yesterday's close was at 164.25. So it's very much possible that the sellers during the open pressure the price down a bit. And since there's a fair value gap, these levels have not been tested, 163 to 164. The stock just randomly rose. Today, these levels might be tested. So we initially let NVIDIA fall because I don't expect a complete strong rally from NVIDIA today. If NVIDIA does that, then the market is strong and all my analysis was bullshit. So, and Meta is going to rally and he will start trading Meta from tomorrow or something. Or I don't know. If NVIDIA rallies today, all my analysis is wrong and I need to reanalyze everything. So, and we will not trade at all if NVIDIA rallies today. We don't expect a rally, we expect consolidation. We expect sellers to pressure the buyers and we expect buyers to subtly to let the price remain low until they feel ready to push the price higher, until they show enough desperation to push the price higher. That is the kind of movement we are expecting off of Nvidia today. If Nvidia does not do that today, we expect sellers to be strong, not dominant, but stronger than what they were yesterday. And naturally, since Nvidia is in a bullish momentum, buyers will be present. We expect buyers to aim for a good price because they can get 164 today, so that is the price they should try to enter at. They should not try to enter at 165.5 where it is trading now. That is the approach that we are taking on Nvidia. So let's start making plans. First area of support is 165. We want to see 165 being supported, at least temporary. If 165 is not supported whatsoever, then I have slight doubts about 164 being supported. Then 164 might be the temporary support and 163 might be the final support. So we want to see 165 being supported. 165 being supported for a bit at least. And then we expect a breakdown towards the 164 area. Then we expect NVIDIA to make reversals above 164. If it ends up touching 164, that is giving me less confidence. Then I want to see a retest. But I expect NVIDIA to push higher right above 164, back into 165 zone, and then either move sideways or start trending higher. I want to see either one. Okay, that is scenario number one. Scenario number two is an extension of scenario number one, with 165 being supported temporarily, goes back down to 164, touches 164, goes back up, fails, but 164 provides us a bounce to the company. It comes back, tests 164, and then goes back up. In this case, we don't expect NVIDIA to rally the entire day. We expect NVIDIA to reach 165 and then start consolidating and then maybe like be pushed lower or something. We expect this is a slightly weakened state for NVIDIA. Okay, that is scenario number two. Scenario number three is that 165 doesn't hold at all. It's 165 does not hold at all. The stock ends up breaking down to 164.6, goes back up to retest 165 and gets shot down. That is our entry. We do not enter at the start. Or we can enter our start because all our plans are based on NVIDIA failing. But it's entirely possible that NVIDIA rallies first a bit and then falls. Whatever, we try to take a quick short, right at the open, I guess. Especially at 160, right below 166, because NVIDIA has failed 166 in the pre-market. So if NVIDIA goes to 166, quick short at 166, SL at 166.4, and then short and hold the short for the entire day. Even that can be really good trade, Anyway, it comes back down to test 165. And in this case, we're taking a short at 165. And then 164 either holds temporarily, moves sideways in this area. This can be a very, very messy trade. We just want it to touch 164 and drop. Although it's only $1 move, this is the best we can do. Scenario number four is what we were just discussing, that the price ends up moving to 166. We take a quick short at 166. And then plan what should be done. Maybe the stock bounces off of 165, it fails 165, or it retests 165, then goes higher and then fails. There's a plethora of things that the stock can do. A failure of something like this. These are the four scenarios that make sense to me. We expect sellers to be dominant, not desperate enough to drive the price lower than 164, but dominant. They will be there, but they're not. They don't think that that Nvidia will never come back to 167. No, Nvidia. It is Nvidia. It is going to come back to these levels again. They will sell then. People become desperate when they think that okay, they might not get this price ever again in the future. So we expect sellers to be there, but that is all they'll be doing. They'll just be there. And if the buyers are very strong today, then they might end up eating all the sellers and Nvidia might rally the entire day. So if we see 166 being broken, actually, we can trade a buy as well. Let's just add in the scenarios because why not? if NVIDIA breaks 166, comes back, retests 166, NVIDIA is holding above 166. One thing I learned, something important from my brother, was that it's not necessarily important that 166 should be held after 166 is broken. For example, if the stock goes up to 167, it does not hold 166, doesn't mean the stock is bearish now. It can very well come back down to 165 and then go back up. So that is what we will aim for. If the stock breaks 166, it goes to 166.6, we are now bullish. We will turn our psychology from short to long, but we won't enter there. Where we enter is 166.5 or 165, something like that, or maybe right above 165. I guess right above 165, and then we go long. It's entirely possible the stock goes here and then fails. The stock goes to 166.6 and then fails. So we will go long here. This will be a small move, not the best trade, but still this is completely possible. Because we saw this on Tesla yesterday. Yesterday, when on Friday again, not yesterday, but yesterday when we were trading Tesla, when Tesla broke above 309, expected 309 to hold, and Tesla tried to hold 309, but it failed. It came back down to 306, and 306 was beautifully held. Tesla rallied from 306.9 to 314. So that was one of the most beautiful trades, and it was based on the concept that once a level is broken, especially in the current meta, it is not compulsory that the level right below. It might happen in a momentum market, but this is not a momentum market. This is a consolidation market. A consolidation market, it's entirely possible that one of those levels break. So it's entirely possible that the stock opens strong, goes up to 167 or 168 even, and it's completely possible that it comes back down to 165, because it's a consolidating market. It's not a momentum market. So this is something very, very important to remember in a market like this, and one of the concepts that we will use today. If Meta remains below 166, we are short. If Meta goes above 166, we start developing a long bias. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are going to be our 5 scenarios that we will trade. Market opens in 4 minutes, and inshallah, I will see you then. Okay, so the market has opened and moved. So this is Meta. I'll have to make the changes. 1 minute. Yeah, NVIDIA did not. Meta opened strong though. Meta opened really strong, which might give us a good entry, but I did not make the plans for Meta, so Meta would have been nice. Fine symbol. NVIDIA. Change chart symbol. Where is NVIDIA right now? I need to log in and everything. I hate this so much. Let's just connect to paper trading. It dropped before we could enter. So the important levels are 166. Let me just quickly draw the line. 166. My PC just farted. 165. Actually, 165.5 was the important level. This 164. 64. And 163. These are the levels that we have judged important. Wow, it's loading NVIDIA all the way from start. Let's just patiently wait. I really wanted a short in. The idea was to short as soon as the market opens, especially if it's at high price. It's okay. Let it recover a bit. We expected 165 to temporarily hold a bit, but it did not. In that case, our next situation was 164 holding the fort temporarily, and 163 acting as the main support. So somewhere here is where we should start seeing our reversal. 164 did not hold the level as well. Very interesting. I think 164 should hold. I think all that planning and I cannot trade because I'm cutting it too close. 103. We are in April now. Yeah, okay, 164. short strength, instantly rejected. I wish I could see what is the market doing. Let's try to go look for the dome. Yeah, the dome looks very helpful. $50,000 buy orders at 163, right? As we expected, very strong level. So we should start seeing sideways consolidation a bit. 29,000 orders at 163.5. So 163.5 should not break anytime soon, but let's not be too sure, you know. NVIDIA should show more volume if it aims to reverse from here. Let's take a look at the DOM. Is DOM showing us anything important? Okay, historical data download complete. Finally, we made it to the cursed land. Finally, we are here. Yeah, okay, as we suspected, if 165 does not hold, 164 becomes a new temporary level, not necessarily the area where stock reverses, goes all the way down to 163. And then 163 is where we might see the actual reversal happen. So the only logical thing to do is go long at 163. You made your money?
Hell no.
Why?
It started falling in the start only.
No, that was the plan, no? I just finished setting up Sierra, man. Fucking took 2000 years.
No, it just straight fell, no, nigga.
No, wait, I'll show you. That was the best case. That is what we were expecting today. Is that the first two cases where that 165 is supposed to hold? It goes down 165, holds a bit, becomes temporary support, and then the stock falls down, goes to a bit above 164. These were the two scenarios. If in case 165 does not hold whatsoever, you know, if 165 is straight up broken, it goes down. ये वाला नहीं होता है. It goes down. इसका मतलब 164 is going to become our where is it? Yeah, that means 160. Ah, fuck. मैंने लिखने बोला. 164 becomes a new temporary support. Like 165 was supposed to be the temporary support. If that did not happen, it ended up going down. 164 is a temporary support, and then it goes down to 163. I drew wrong, and then 163 is where the actual reversal will happen.
It fell. I'm like starting with उतना गिरता ही है. Then it fell more. I'm like अब तुम अच्छा position में ला रही है. Then it fell more. I was like, what the fuck?
No, now is where you will get the reversal. 163 is what I'm hoping for.
I tried reversal at 164 because I didn't know.
No, 164 it won't happen because for reversal at 164 you wanted the price to stall at 165. यहाँ पे आके ना रुकना चाहिए था. ये चीज यहाँ पे होना चाहिए था 165 पे. तो फिर 164 से रिवर्सल होता है. अंडरस्टैंड? अगर यहाँ पे नहीं हुआ तो फिर ये 164 पे अगर हो रहा है इसका मतलब रिवर्सल इज एट 163. Especially since we are seeing front running at 163 now, and we are seeing big as fuck buy order at 163, 81,000, 81,900. So 163 is where the reversal. But I did not want to. I wanted to trade this because this is so much easier. This is the trade I wanted. I wanted to go short at the open. Yeah, set करने में I had everything set up for meta. It takes time to set up Sierra. When I said scene हो गया, I wanted to cry, bro. I wanted to cry so much.
That's why you asked me.
I was like, today the best trade we can go is if Nvidia opens a little bit higher and then just drops.
That is why you asked me. It's just defeated was no best.
This was the best case scenario trade. Man.
मुझे कमाल का चीज़ है आपके और शक्ल देखना और मैंने like you know.
This was hands down the best case scenario. Man.
Toxic डायलॉग दे दिया. Bro ये कुछ ज़्यादा ही नहीं गिरा.
नहीं अब रिवर्सल
No, first I saw it falling this much. अब नहीं इतना तो गिरता है तो
डायग्राम भी मैंने गलत बनाया यार.
आज लेकिन इतना तो गिरता है. Then it fell more. Then I.
No. This if 165.5 it stopped. No, my God, it was stopping for nothing. It ate all the orders at 163 also.
What the heck?
I guess we won't be getting any trades in. No.
This power she get I don't think
It has too much momentum, man. And today was just one of those bad days. Today was
For all the companies, even for Tesla.
no NVIDIA especially. Oh, 163 beautifully broken though. Did not stop. 162 is this a fake out? I would not be surprised if this was. Maybe it is not. There's a proper break, I guess. It tried holding 163, it did not hold, and then it broke down with very strong volume. With very strong volume. Okay, wow, what happened? Meta. Meta is falling like there is no tomorrow. I think all the companies are falling. Did any news come out? I guess I should take this thing more seriously. Momentum more seriously. Wow, that is so nice. That is so nice. I'm not trading a reversal on this by any means. Yeah, assalamu alaikum, bro. Yeah, bro. It was not just Nvidia. All the companies dropped. I think SPY failed. Yeah. No, no, all the companies fell like crazy, man. I think yeah, actually SPY failed. No, SPY failed like crazy. Yeah, but it went all the way up to 323 now. Actually, you are correct. Tesla closed 314 yesterday, so okay, let's try to go long. Let's put SL. I'm going long on Nvidia now because I feel like the big fall has ended. If it continues, then of course I'm out. I put my SL right below 162. I expected a reversal of a 163. If I'm getting 162, that is even better price. So I'm like, why not trade a reversal off of here? Yeah, let's see. Let's see how Nvidia behaves at 163. If it crosses 163, then I am long till like 165. Then I'm long. Yeah, 162, 162. Okay, bro. Bye. So we saw an unexpected break below 163. Nvidia was behaving as we expected, and then some unexpected thing, expect the unexpected thing happened. Classic stock market, and it went down to 162. We have taken a long because we expected Nvidia to hold 163. So considering that 162 is an even better price, but if SPY actually is extremely weak today, nothing can save us then. Nvidia performing weaker than the SPY, surprisingly. But that is not important. Important is 162 being held. I think people must have lost confidence after that break. So let's see if 162 is held. We're not seeing particularly any strong move, but we are seeing a more foundationally solid move. Is not the right word. I'm not seeing anything foundationally solid. Why is this not showing me SMA? I at least need the view app. So volume weighted average. Why is this not showing me the view app? Am I not worthy of seeing the view app? I cannot figure out why I can't see the view app. I need to see the view app. I can't. Can't you see any indicator on free version? That is not good. That is not good. Okay, so it is holding up 163. We wanted to stay above 163, so we can push our. It shouldn't fail 162.5. Let's bring the stop loss to break even. Yeah. Let's let it stay there. Again, it's going pushing 163, really fighting out 163. That is really nice to see. I think this was panic selling, or just one big seller saying, "Ah, man, I'm done," or something like that. Don't know what exactly happened there. I think I'm more adept at trading reverses than I am at momentum. This I don't know why. Okay, got a dollar move in. We expect 163 to be held. If it does not, then that would not be good. Bring stop loss below 163. Okay. I had everything set up for Meta. Switching to NVIDIA took so much time because Sierra had to load. Sierra loads all your charts locally, so it was loading everything up. Now we simply wait. We want 163 to be held properly. And then we can stay decisively positive till 165. Okay, so let's start focusing because we saw this level being shot down twice. First it was shot down because sellers tried dropping it down. That is a good sign. If buyers try to push the price up and the stock still falls, that is bad news. Okay, in the previous two cases, sellers have been quite aggressive and the price still held. That is very nice. That is very nice. In the third case, uh, I'm actually happy to see the first two cases, but I want to see this level being broken. I want to see a new high. I am losing confidence in this trade because I'm not seeing a new high. Should I be more patient? Let's be more patient. Let it come down to 163. Let it test 163. Okay. Sellers desperately. So we can see that sellers are a bit more desperate than what we expected. This can actually give us a very good entry on Meta as well. No, Meta stayed above 717. Very interesting. If Meta dropped below 717, then Meta would be falling the entire day. So we're expecting bullish move from Meta. Let's see, does the stock show any potential of holding itself higher? Meta is weak. Sorry, NVIDIA is weak. A lot of sell orders, very aggressive push from the buyers, from the sellers at 163. We're seeing a lot of volume being traded at 163 as well. And the move sustains itself, so we go long again. It fell down to 1. Okay, let's put my SL right there because I don't want to see the stock come back down to this level. It's actually sad that I missed out on this area. My SL was triggered. I don't know where it was triggered, but it was triggered somewhere here. It went down to my SL and then rose up. That means I missed out on all of this. This I could have made. Trailing stop losses are interesting. I don't want it to come back down to this level again. Let me just push it down a bit lower, just to make sure that it's not too tight. I'm trading against the momentum, which is something I've begun to dislike now. I don't like trading against the momentum. Let us look at SPY. How is SPY developing? SPY is showing strength. SPY is actually recovered and is doing better compared to NVIDIA. Maybe NVIDIA will do better in the second half after it has absorbed all this selling pressure. It opened weak. It opened at 165.5 and dropped to 162. NVIDIA just opened really weak. It could be one of those long trades, one of those long days. Let's reduce this a bit. I found DOM to be pretty meaningless when it comes to NVIDIA. Because there's a shortage everywhere. The DOM shows that the buyers are strong, 100,000 orders at 162. Maybe that is where I should have tried entering, somewhere lower. I might end up triggering my TP and then, sorry, my SL and then the stock rises. Even that is entirely possible. If the sellers somehow destroy the 162 wall of buyers, then we are not trading Meta whatsoever. I really want to see. We are not trading NVIDIA. I keep confusing between Meta and NVIDIA. I want to see the stock try and push in this minute. If it does not, I'm dropping the trade. Please. Buyers are really trying and the price comes down. That shows very strong. Sell limit order. Okay, so I saw a blue candle. Buyers are trying to push the price up and they're still pinned down. No, I think I'll take my loss here. $6. $3, fair enough. Close! I sometimes cannot believe trading here. Wow, NVIDIA made a new high. Really nice. Really nice. 25,000 buy orders at 163. I mean, you should have bought earlier. People bought very aggressively in this area. Yeah, it broke the high on very aggressive buying, which is nice for us actually. That allows us to put our stop loss at break even. Did I put it too tight? I cannot move it anymore. Ah. Yeah, I think I cannot move it anymore. Today's day has just been going very weird. Ah, this is how you do it from here. Let's reset this. Can it go to 165 or will it go and struggle at 164 again? I don't know. 11,000, 14,000, 20,000. I guess this is where I want to put my stop loss and just let the stock go till my TP, right below 165, I guess. This area. And that is our trade for today. We just wait. $60,000 buyers at this level, and the area was short down. I think we are going to see a lot of absorption and all of that BS. What we always see, especially on company like NVIDIA. Does NVIDIA have high institutional ownership? I don't know. Let's go check on Meta. Did Meta stay above 717? Yeah. Meta did everything in its power to stay above 717. It failed 724, which is okay, completely okay, but it stayed above 717. Possible that Meta starts failing 163.72. But I'm sticking with this level. Let's see. I will turn my mic off now and I will leave the stock to move. I will fast forward and you guys can see the end result. Anyway, this was it for today's session. Slightly choppy, slightly. I wish you learned something. I think the first and the most important that we should learn is that be on time. I should have used those 2 minutes in which I was resting to set my chart up. Anyway, see you guys in a bit. We can take our partial now. I feel like this would be a good place to take 50 partial out, push this higher and just leave it open for till 73. I think that would be the best course of action. I'll review it later, see if I think no, it secures me some profit, and because I think 164 can be one of those levels where the stock fails. If it really wants to fail, it's right above the view app. The sellers have incentive of selling. If the sellers are all institutional today, then it is entirely possible that NVIDIA fails this level. In that scenario, we want to take a partial out and let the stock run. If it has strength, let it go. If no, nothing to do. The market might hit our SL any minute now. If it does, we will be out, and that'll be that. That'll be the end of our trading session. No, it bounces right above there. Bounces right above the SL and starts going higher, huh? That made no sense to me. Yeah, I might feel the view up here. One thing I would like to add is NVIDIA is more structure based. It's less order flow based. Some companies are order flow based. You can clearly tell from the order flow what is happening. NVIDIA is not one of those companies. NVIDIA is very structure based. For example, I cannot look at the order flow and tell anything about NVIDIA. Maybe the DOM might give me some ideas. Like the only thing DOM is telling me right now is that at 163 there are 60,000 buyers, for example. The volume profile is telling me that these are the number of orders, or these are the number of active total volume that occurred. 164, 165 being 170, 1000, 164 having, oh wow, 10,000. So I just find it important to note that NVIDIA is very structure based, not order flow based. Of course, every company follows structure. Structure is the most important when trading, and that's why candlesticks. Some people only use candlesticks for trading because the candlesticks show you the structure very nicely. And we see huge sale order at 163.8. Will buyers be able to defeat that level? I think we take our. Well, just let it stay open. Maybe we see big iceberg buy orders here, or maybe I'll try to analyze my video later and see if there were a lot of iceberg orders. Buying iceberg orders. For example, right now we might be seeing how much was bought here. Wow. We saw huge selling and the price did not fall. NVIDIA's DOM is different, is what I am understanding. It behaves different. Anyway, back to the original conversation. I was saying that NVIDIA is a more structured based company. You might be looking at the DOM and you'll be saying, okay, there are 50,000 buy orders. Suddenly 85,000 sell orders come. They might disappear completely. And just 22,000 here. It's very tightly being squeezed here. Actually, let me give it a bit more breathing room because now I'm interested. There were 80,000 buy orders at this level, so that is very interesting. Of course, those numbers are not being pulled out of thin air. Somebody clicked buy and bought the shares at 163.8. I'm amazed. So yeah, it's important to understand which kind of companies are more order flow based and which kind of companies are more structure based. For example, again, I'm repeating myself here. I know that the DOM is only the DOM. The only meaningful thing that is showing is that there are 47,500 buy orders at 163. Actually, I take it back. The DOM did show us a sudden 80,000 order, and then we saw buyers try to buy it, and then we saw buyers fail this level, at which I did not exit. I was like, let's see. And then the stock failed. I am intrigued, so I guess we go short here. This short is not the most ideal short, but the way the stock has failed is making me curious about how Nvidia behaves. This is not in the plan. This is not the kind of trades you're supposed to take. This is just one of those I'm curious moments. That will make my video a bit longer though. It can completely bounce off of this level and go higher. Let's take the $15 loss. Let's not do anything that was not part of the plan. Okay. I will conclude this video here. I will end it now. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I'll watch it and I'll learn something. Hopefully all of this effort pays off someday, inshallah. See you tomorrow. Take care. Assalamu. Yeah, I'm back. I wanted to add something I found really important is that when trading structure-based companies like NVIDIA, it is important to be patient with your moves. We were expecting the stock to slow down at 165. Maybe it breaks, maybe it doesn't. I feel like I should start falling now. But again, that is for tomorrow, not anymore. But I want to point out that when trading companies like these, I've always seen that it's best to be patient. A consolidating slow type market, it's best to be patient because it did go to the level we were expecting. It did go to 165. We dropped out at 164, but it did go to 165, and that is important to note. Just FYI, for your and my information, something to keep in mind, something to revise, and something to follow, inshallah, in future trades. Just okay. Masalama.